there yogis, yoginis and wonder beings, and welcome to a myofascial release yoga practice today. So what you're going to need is a couple of tennis balls, one will do actually, but a couple of tennis balls and a couple of bricks and yourself. And let's get going. So we're going to start by tuning in. So coming to a comfortable seat, drop the shoulders, lengthen through the crown of the head. Palms up to receive or down to relax. And just start to lengthen the breath. And then setting an intention for our practice today. May your yoga practice give you the release in the body, the mind, the energy that you need to allow you to meet, face on any challenges and start anew anything that may come your way. Then bring those palms to press in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra, Mudra of Reverence. And then let's get going. So we're going to start with a lower body, so legs release today. And we're going to reach for our first prop. So reach for a tennis ball. We don't need the bricks just yet, so we're going to move those off to one side. And this one is going to be a calf release. So full calf release. So we're going to start with the right leg extended and the left knee bent. And we're going to bring the tennis ball behind the back of the knee here. And then from here we're going to lean on back and then gently, drawing the shoulders underneath us, we're going to just roll back and forth on the full length of the calf, using the weight of the body to just gently release through the calf muscles. Maybe you can come a little further back to get all the way down to just near the ankles, and then press on forwards, moving that whole body gently and mindfully back the other way. Keep it coming. All the way forwards, and then just allow that tennis ball, just roll it down the calf to where it feels comfortable. Find a really nice sweet spot and then just bring those fingertips towards the body, lift the heart, draw those toes back lightly and allow the weight of the leg to press through the tennis ball. Getting into the fascia, the connective tissue, allowing those muscles to relax. And hold for a few more breaths here. And then softly inhale as come up. We're going to switch sides, so bring that tennis ball to the opposite side. Bring that right knee in, left leg extended. Place the tennis ball with the back of the knee, and same thing, bringing those fingertips facing the body, and then start to roll on back and forth a few times, just pressing through that right foot and allowing that left leg to glide. And then maybe shifting that tennis ball to a little lower down, to get into those lower reaches of the calf. Supporting that body with strong shoulders and on that right foot. And then finding that nice sweet spot. So sit up a little and bring that tennis ball to a really nice sweet spot across the calves. And then just resting back, pressing through the floor. Allow that weight to melt around the ball. Just take a few breaths here. We're going to come a little lower down the leg now. Back above the ankle. And then same thing here. So walk that ball down the length of the calf. Bend that left knee. Bring that right leg onto the ball, just above the ankle. And then just gently pressing through, back and forth. Maybe you can make some little circles on it, get into different parts. And then again, shifting that weight till you come to a nice spot. Staying here. Maybe you can allow the toes to drop slightly, soften. So remember, when we are getting into the fascia, the connective tissue, we tend to try to avoid loading up the muscles. So softening can allow us to access the deeper tissues. And then inhale, let's come up. We're going to switch sides. So bring that right foot in, left foot out. And bring that tennis ball lower down, so past the calf, towards the soleus. And then sitting up nice and tall, and then same thing, just maybe rolling back and forth a little. You can lift the hips all the way up. Or you can just gently support that weight, find the sweet spot, soften through those left toes, and just allow gravity to work its magic. And hold here. Softly come up. So from here we're going to come onto the side of the body. We will get into the feet as well a little later on. So we're going to come into that inner soleus muscle, so about here. So placing our tennis ball about there. We're going to bring the left leg in towards the body and bring that right sort of shin, calf onto the tennis ball. And then same thing, you can sit up and gradually roll over the length of the tennis ball here. Notice that it's gathering up the mat somewhat. Supporting that weight on the fingertips. Through the fingers, pressing through. That right leg, just allowing now the toes to soften down and the connective tissues to release. A few breaths here. Softly come up. We're going to switch sides. Same thing, other side. So bringing your tennis ball to the inside of that shin where it meets the calf. Placing your left leg over the top of that. And then again setting up on the other side. So maybe at first you roll back and forth a few times. And then allow those toes to soften, supporting the weight on the fingertips. Maybe you allow the head to dangle. And just allow the body to sink into the ball. Allow that leg to soften to the bone. And hold for a few breaths. Maybe you adjust a little and get a little higher up. Move gently into a sweeter spot. And then exhale, slowly, softly release. Good. So from here we're now going to again come back into just behind the knees here, so the high calf muscle, so reaching for one of your bricks. And then what we're going to do is place the tennis ball underneath the back of the knee, so at the crook of the knee, at the back there. And then this one's a really nice one. So this one we're going to cross the left foot over top of right. And just allow the weight of the feet to press through. Deep release all the way down that right calf. Soften through the toes, but keep the belly relatively lightly drawn in to just support the body there. This optimises the amount of pressure at the back of the knee. And then just sit comfortably for a few breaths. Maybe doing some chin smiles as you rest on in. So bring that chin to the right shoulder, draw it down centre towards the left. Moving with the breath. And then back the other way. And then inhale, softly release. We're going to switch sides. So just shift that brick over towards the left hand side a little. Same thing again. Bring that tennis ball just behind the knee. So sort of high calf. And then same thing. Crossing that right ankle over left. And then maybe just lifting the left heel up a little to get a deeper pressure, or you can allow it to drop against the floor for a milder pressure. Otherwise lifting and lengthening through those toes to really press through. And then again supporting that weight on the fingertips, draw the belly in lightly. And then right chin towards right shoulder, making those chin smiles. So drawing a semicircle. Moving with the breath. And then as you're ready, finding some stillness. And exhale, softly release and sit all the way back up. Okay, good. So from here, we're going to come onto the knees. So we're going to shift the brick over towards the right hand side for Tibialis Anterior Release. Some pressure points at the front of the shin. So this area can be quite tender. So go really carefully here and be really supportive of the weight of the body over the tennis ball and over the brick. So we're going to bring that left knee alongside the brick. Bring that right shin on top of that tennis ball, supporting that weight towards the front of the beam, and then just moving gently forwards and back a little. Just really gently pressing through, always in control in the amount of weight that you're pressing through the shin. This is our Tibialis Anterior Release. And then when you find that sweet spot, just settle in. Bring that heart forward, length through the crown of the head. Just pressing through those legs. Maybe gently moving forwards and back a little, again being really careful of the amount of pressure you're placing. And then shifting to a different pressure point if that feels good. And then exhale, softly release, coming off the brick, off the tennis ball, then shifting over to the other side, so moving your props over towards the left. And then bring that right knee alongside the brick, so lowering alongside, and then lowering that left shin on top of the tennis ball, and again positioning just below the knee. And then start to rock forwards and back a little, finding that release. Sometimes you lose your tennis ball, that's fine. And then just rocking forwards and back, bringing those hips forwards and back until you find that point of tension. And just soften over the ball, allow that pressure to release into the connective tissue, allow the muscles to soften, and hold. Softly through the fingertips. And then gently, softly release alongside. Then we're going to come into a beautiful hamstrings release. So, from here we're going to come back onto the bottom. We're going to lengthen through that right foot, draw that left heel in, and place the tennis ball just behind at the top of the sort of the thighs, at the tip of the hamstrings here, adjusting your position. And you can either stay here in this position and just enjoy that stretch, and then gradually move that ball down in stages, softening through the feet. Or you can, again, you can start to roll forwards and back the length of the tennis ball until you find that point of tension. Settle on in. Maybe just the tennis ball alone is not really enough to feel. Release. Place that brick with the tennis ball on top and adjust to a slightly different height till you find what feels comfortable for you. Just allow those right toes to soften. Rolling a little from side to side, maybe adjusting your position, the height, supporting that weight on softened but stretched fingers, and then softly exhale, release, shifting over to the side. So whether you start on the lowest setting with just the tennis ball, or whether you build it up and bring that tennis ball the tip of the hamstrings here at the top of the thighs. And then again, maybe you adjust your position, keeping that right knee bent, adjusting your position until you find that sweet spot. And lengthen over, tennis ball, fingertips return towards the back of the mat. Maybe the heart lifts and the shoulders shrug away. Just enjoy that sensation in the hamstrings. Gently adjusting to a different sweet spot, moving the body and working the length of the hamstrings, and then maybe just gently rotating that left leg either in a circle or rolling it gently from side to side, just really enjoying that release of the hamstrings. Exhale, softly release, rolling off your brick and off your tennis ball. And then from here we're going to come onto the tummy for some self-myofascial release into the quadriceps, which is really quite nice. So coming on to the belly, what you'd like really ideally is 2 tennis balls this time, otherwise you can alternate between one side and then the other. So bringing those tennis balls to underneath the quadriceps, so coming into your sphinx, with your elbows below your shoulders. And then from here we're just going to bring the tennis ball to the top of the quadriceps at the front, but below the hip flexors. Bring our weight onto that one, and then the other side. And then from here just supporting the upper body on the forearms this time. Just allow the pelvis to sink towards the floor. You can tuck the toes under for a deeper stretch and lift those heels as you press the heart forwards. Maybe you bring the weight forwards and soften a little higher up. You'll find that sweet point of tension. And then, so either toes are tucked under for a deeper stretch as you lift those heels and lift the knees a little, pressing a little deeper into the quadriceps. Otherwise you soften through the knees, coming onto the tops of the feet. Just allow gravity to work its magic. And hold. Adjusting your position to different positions of the length of the quadriceps. And then soften or tuck. Find what feels sweet for you today. Natural breath, but keep that breath breathing into the belly. toes, rolling back, tucking tailbone under, walking those fingertips towards the body, and then we're going to come into our vastus medialis stretch here. So from here, we're going to lower back down into our sphinx and just open that right knee towards the side of the room, and then from here, we're going to place that ball just inside, behind the knee, so just behind the knee, pressing into the sides of the thighs here, and adjusting your position, again supporting your weight on the forearms, drawing those shoulders away from the ears, and just again finding that trigger point. You roll a little to find that ideal position, and then find some stillness in this posture. Allow those hips to sink towards the floor, pelvis is nice and heavy, and hold for a few breaths here. So releasing tight legs. As we're ready, inhale, come back up through Sphinx. Releasing the body from that tennis ball, and we're going to switch to the other side. So lying on the belly, bring that left knee out towards the side. Placing that tennis ball just behind where the kneecap is, at the side of the leg. And again, lowering onto the ball, allowing hips and pelvis to be heavy and sinking. And again, finding where it feels good. So it might be that you roll that tennis ball up the length of the leg a little. Quite tender. So gently lowering the weight of the body onto the ball. Release the lower body into the floor, pressing through the forearms, again lifting through the head. Or it might be that you interlace the fingertips here and just drop the head towards the thumbs. Palms might be pressing, and maybe enjoy the release of pressing between the brows at the forehead. Finding your stillness. And then inhale and softly come up. Okay. So one more stretch for the legs this time. And this one is for the IT band. So this is an area of the body along the outside of the leg, all the way from the sort of side of the hip, all the way down the length towards the ankle. So this can be quite tender. So around this sort of upper hip area, upper thigh area, this can be quite tender. So go really carefully here as you lower your weight onto your IT band. So we're going to begin with that left leg extended out towards the side. And we're going to bring our body onto the floor and lengthen that right foot alongside, shifting those hips and bring that right foot in front of the left. Now from here we're going to be applying pressure on that IT band for the right leg. So we're going to press through the arms, roll onto the side of the hip, and then gently lower the body onto that IT band at the side. So keep the toes drawn softly back, supporting the weight of the body on the forearms here, and you can roll forwards and back a little. You can roll the tennis ball up and down the length of the thigh until you find, again, that nice sweet spot, and just roll gently onto that tennis ball. You can always roll off again if it gets a little bit too tender. Otherwise, once you've rolled onto, finding that trigger point, some stillness there. Maybe the head rests towards the shoulders, again getting a nice little neck stretch going. And find your stillness. And then inhale. Softly come up, rolling back off your ball, and then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to bring that right leg out. Left leg draws in alongside. And then switching so that right foot comes out in front of the left, supporting the weight of the body on the forearms or palms of the hands. And gently position your tennis ball. Either you can lower onto it or you can roll onto the side, rolling to the outside of that left thigh till you find that sweet spot. And again, you can position the tennis ball at different points. You can roll the body up and down. Feel free to roll forwards and back a little just to massage into that pressure point. And then when you've found it, maybe lowering onto the forearms and allowing that left ear to dangle towards left shoulder and draw that right shoulder down away from your ear. Soften the muscles of the face. You can roll a little further forwards or onto the board if that feels comfortable. And gently take some deeper inhales. And exhale, press yourself back up, release. Tennis ball from underneath the thigh. Facing this way, and then bring the palms to touch in front of the heart for Anjali Mudra. Bow the head, sealing in the benefits of our practice. Palms to the forehead for loving thoughts, palms to the heart center for loving intentions, and to the lips for loving communications. Thank you so much. I hope you found your release. See you next time. Namaste.